I think going into my third season, I'm really excited about things. It's a different look Kenyon team. I think my first 2 years we were pretty upper class heavy just in terms of the numbers of people we had in those upper classes. And this year, the majority of our team are first and second years. And that's just a different look. I think the contributions from our upper classes are going to be good. I think that they set a great example in not just what they're able to do on the field, but what they're able to do is off the field as well. And I think that's very important when we have such a young group that's trying to come to Kenyon and try to continue to uphold the things that the program's been able to do in previous years. I think the thing that excites me most about this group heading into this season is the depth. I believe that on paper at least, this is going to be one of the deeper teams I've had. And where we maybe lack in just experience and like veteran presence from previous like conference players of the year that we've had. I think we make up for in having more people just happen to be younger. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing the jump that in particular Justin Buckwalter and Gabriel Romanenko can make. I think they came into a good team last year and certainly solidified themselves as very important pieces. And those two, in addition to many others in their grade, Andrew Adams, Haya Ishii, are guys that they were very important to our success last year. They were extremely important role players, and I think Justin kind of became more than a role player later on as the season went on. But I think a lot of our season is going to be dependent upon what guys that were really good role players last year can kind of step into bigger shoes that we had some great seniors in last year. I think the aspects of our style of play that we're hoping to be able to show as we continue to try to keep Kenyon in a good spot in the national scene of Division III soccer. I believe are just the way that we want to defend, the way we want to attack. I do believe that we have more depth and like I said earlier, I believe we have some more depth in some key positions that even when we are able to make some subs, I believe we're going to be able to keep some consistency in the way that we're playing. And I do think it's going to be a different look identity this year, at least at the beginning, and we'll see how it goes. But I am looking forward to trying something a little bit different because our coaching staff and the guys alike believe that it suits our personnel, and only time will tell if it does or not. But I'm looking forward to trying something different. In terms of our schedule and any bigger games in it than others, I struggle to choose any one. I think opening on the road at Capitol under the lights against a very rejuvenated team is going to be a really tough battle for us. And I think welcoming Edgewood, who won 17 games last year, 2 days later is going to be difficult. And even the next weekend, facing Johns Hopkins and Franklin or Marshall like we did a year ago. Our non-conference is very challenging, and we're looking forward to it because we're going to figure out a lot about ourselves. And similarly, last year, it was after we got through those first 4 or 5 games that we kind of thought, all right, we could be decent this year. And that's what happens when you play good teams. And, we'll figure out what we got to work on, and we figure that out a little bit easier by playing really good teams. So, no, we don't really have a motto or a saying that we want to go by, but we just want to try to be as present as possible and go one day at a time as much as possible. We don't want to get caught looking too far ahead. We know the conference will be challenging, but we got 9 non-conference games before we get there, and we have a lot to figure out about ourselves. And I think this year more so than others, just with so many new faces and losing some valuable guys from a year ago, time will tell with our games, who is ready to step up to the plate and figure out who's gonna be leading this new Kenyon men's soccer era into hopefully some successful territory.